Hello, welcome back. It was a morning like any other until the world was jolted by heartbreaking news. Phones lit up with alerts, television screens flashed the headline, and whispers turned into a wave of confirmation. Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband had died unexpectedly. At first, some brushed it off as another baseless rumor, but soon, reliable sources confirmed it. The shock rippled through fans who had followed their story over the years. They remembered the happy images of the two together, building a family, supporting each other's careers, even though their marriage had ended. The loss felt strangely personal to millions who had witnessed their journey. Social media filled instantly with messages, condolences from fans, emotional tributes from friends and fellow artists. Everyone seemed to be asking the same silent question. How could this have happened so suddenly? Kelly, meanwhile, had not spoken publicly. Close friends revealed she was protecting her children from the public storm while grappling with her own grief. This wasn't just a headline to her, it was the death of someone who had been a huge part of her life and the father of her kids. When she received the call, she was at home with her children. The sound of their laughter filled the house until her phone rang. The voice on the other end was calm but heavy, and before the words were even spoken, her heart sank in an instant. Her world froze, the background faded, replaced by suffocating silence. Her first thought was of her children, how to explain something so permanent to such young hearts. Memories began rushing back, moments of joy and struggle, celebrations and quiet conversations. Divorce had ended their marriage, but not the bond that came from raising children together. As grief pressed heavily on her chest, she knew she had to be strong for them. She chose silence for a while, not to deny the truth, but because once she spoke the words aloud to her children, there would be no taking them back. That night, after the house had quieted, she thought back to when they first met. How their connection had been instant and full of promise. She remembered the joy of their wedding day, the excitement of building a life, and the irreplaceable moments when they welcomed their children. Not every chapter had been happy. Work, disagreements, and misunderstandings had chipped away at their marriage, until they made the difficult decision to separate. But even then, they'd stood together as parents at birthdays, school events, and family moments. Those memories made the loss harder to bear, even after divorce. Their relationship was a balancing act, some days warm, some distant, but always united for their children. Holidays were shared, milestones celebrated, and when life became challenging for the kids, they put differences aside. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Now, with him gone, Kelly realized she would have to fill both parental roles, a daunting and emotional responsibility. As the news spread publicly, old photos resurfaced, smiling wedding portraits, red carpet moments, candid shots with their children. The world began dissecting their past. Friends, fans, and celebrities sent heartfelt messages, but the sudden media glare felt suffocating. Paparazzi appeared outside her home and her children's school. The grief was raw, but the spotlight added another weight. She wanted space, yet understood that the public cared because they'd followed her for years. When the memorial came, Kelly kept it private. Only close family and trusted friends gathered in a quiet church. Soft music played as photos of his life were displayed. She sat with her children close, their small hands gripping hers. Stories were shared about his kindness and warmth. When her son whispered, "I miss Daddy," she squeezed his hand and replied, "I know, sweetheart, I miss him too." After the service, she stood before his photograph, silently speaking words of gratitude, forgiveness, and promises to keep his memory alive for their kids. Days later, she decided to speak publicly. Late at night, she wrote her statement, not as a celebrity, but as a mother. It was brief but heartfelt, honoring his love for their children, thanking fans for their prayers, and asking for privacy. "I want my kids to remember their father for the love he gave them, not the headlines." About his death, she wrote. The response was immediate, with an outpouring of support and even the press respecting her request. In the weeks that followed, the world moved on, but inside her home, the loss remained heavy. There were moments when her children looked at old photos or asked for stories about their dad, and she made sure those stories brought smiles instead of tears. She promised herself they would never feel they'd lost both parents, even on hard days. She kept going, creating new routines and traditions to bring them stability. She returned to her music, pouring her emotions into her performances, which fans noticed carried a deeper honesty. Moving forward didn't mean leaving him behind. He remained a part of their story, woven into their family's fabric, and in every smile from her children. Kelly felt a piece of him still there,